Hey, Dave, welcome to the shop. Um, today's to take this apart and get the clamps off it and all of this stuff and see how I did. I'm a little nervous about when I sandwich these joints to even them up and flatten them out. When I sandwich the joints with the plywood, it means you can't see them anymore. And so I'm just hoping that I got them driven together, and I'm hoping that the glue will fill them so that they look good. And I don't know, but we're going to find out. So let's watch. All right, there's no particularly good order to this. You know how this one works. You get a pile of things. That one came off. This one's a little stuck. And yeah, top and bottom released. That's good. Joint looks really good. Wow. 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 Really, really good. Let's wow, it's just a little teeny bit. Didn't make a mess. Joint looks good. Wow, this is great. This actually worked out. I'm pretty excited. There's a little hint from your Uncle Dave. The best time to clean little teeny spots of glue off your cauls is exactly the moment that you take them apart. Good, 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 good. Get these wires broken free. Oh boy, a pair of pliers. What did I do? Oh, look at that, cheap import pliers. I think I may have gotten a little bit of glue on that, but it's good. It came out fine. And now, good. I think I glued that on. Oh, it's still being pulled that direction. These are tenacious. That one's good. Look at that. Let me take a minute here to clean this a little bit, just a smidge. I should have used larger pieces of wax paper, just, you know, a foolish amount of frugality. Foolish. That's me, though. Anyway, joint looks great. That's now officially loose. All right, now this one. Bottom one came off. Top one stuck. Top one stuck. Oh, come on. There we go. Just what it is the edges. It didn't really get on the face, but it caught just a teeny bit on the edge. It kind of whipped up. Anyway, good. Let's take a look at that. One more rod here. Oh, good. So this, I'm going to hang this up somewhere. Hopefully I don't kill someone in the process. Anyway. No good. All right, let me bring you in tight. See this thing in all its, imagined glory. Is that working at all? Autofocus, huh? Anyway, really came out well. Nice tight joint. Anyway, so joints came out pretty well. I've got glue spattered around here and there, I know. This is new, but underneath the wax paper and the plywood, it smushed it out. So it's a mess in terms of glue everywhere. But when I sand this, that's going to sand out, and that's just going to be wood on wood. That looks just terrific. I'm really pleased. It doesn't usually come out as well as this. That's great. So I guess next we'll be doing some sanding on it, then cut out these inside corners, which I haven't worked out yet, but no one's ever going to see them. This is a glass rabbit, so that's good. And flip it over and clean up the back. I can't wait. This is going real well. Okay, so in the midst of everything else, I'm doing some sanding on this thing. I've cleaned up the glue that I smeared all over the joints. Remember, that was kind of impactful, but it came out all right. I don't have to worry about this 1.5 inches here or this 1.25 inches there. It's just this little spot in the center, and they all look great. I've been around it once with 120 sandpaper. I did the back and the front. The back I'm done with. I will put finish on the back, but I'm not going to bother to sand it anymore. And now I've busted out some 220 grit paper, and I'm going to go around the face of this thing and get it ready. It'll be probably the last time it gets sanded before the finishes get put on. And there'll only be a little strip in the center. It'll all be kind of compromised. So this is one of those circumstances where, as much as I can, I want to get the sanding as much as I can done ahead of time. So I'm going to go off and sand that. I'll see you in a little while when I get ready to start putting the bands on. Okay, so sanding's, I think, all done. All I need to do. And now it's getting these outside bands is going to where I'm going to start. And they're going to line up really well. I have to do a bunch of mitering. And I want to do that. I'm going to do that right now before I put any of them together. I'm going to miter them all and get them all to fit as best I can. I'll put little temporary clamps on. So in the process of doing this, you sort of start selecting. This one's got a dark end on it. I don't think I like that, so I'm going to put that as the top on this one. This piece seems perfect. And this one has a little teeny bit of variation in color, but it's a good long one. And the color isn't as bad. The dark isn't as bad as that other one. At least that's what I'm telling myself right now. And this is the one with all of the snipe in it. It's rattled coming through the planer, my molder. So I've got this snipe in it, so I definitely want to cut that off. So that'll make a bottom one. It's got snipe at both ends, which is fine. It only needs to be 3 feet long. So that's how I'm going to do this. So I've got my layout, and now it's just a matter of keeping my head on my shoulders, and I'm going to put some quick marks on so I'll know what I'm thinking. Like that. That's good. Like that. Like that. And this one right here, like that. And like that. This is all coming together. All right. And now I'll go chop some of these things and do some test fitting. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to the chop saw. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't bother to do that. I should do it, cut it once and be right, but I never do that. So here we go. Start the process. I'll bring you back when I get it all cut. Okay, so I'm going around and I've got everything roughly fit, and I'm going for that final fit now of how I want this thing to go. And I'll admit to you, I'm scared. I was thinking at some point I was just going to put this stuff and drive some nails, tack it into place with a little bit of glue, and I don't want to see the nail holes. I think you can understand that. So I'm going to glue it. But then you start thinking, I'm going to glue it. Now, I'll put some nail holes in from the underside. But I have to clamp it to do that. Because you can't just shoot nails in, upside down. So anyway, then I decided, to hell with that. It's just going to be rife with problems. I have to clamp the whole thing, and then I have to turn it upside down. I can't do it. So I'm just going to glue the damn thing. And, hope for the best. The internet is filled with people showing you how to do things that they've never done before. And this is pretty close to that. I apologize. Okay, I apologize for that part, but that's what's happening. So glue, and that's about all the glue I'm going to put on. They fit pretty well, if you can imagine. Smooth plane, and the rest of that. So here we are. I'm not gluing it to the pieces on either side. I have them clamped to hold them in place so that this will go in the right place. There being not that many right places for this to go. Good. All right. So now some blocks. Gluing blocks. How do you glue something that's irregular? You know, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. So it just so happens that this molding upside down behaves real well. Unfortunately, that just slid out a little bit. I'm going to get the other end first. Get two ends tapped. We've got very little else going on right now that requires clamps, so I'm just going to go through and clamp everything. Little blocks, clamps, it'll be fine. Now a couple of little taps just to make sure I've got it. Well, that's good. Not quite. Getting a little bit of an initial tackiness out of that glue, I think. Oh, too much. Well, that's nice to know. All right, that's great. Now, two more in the middle. Just a little bit of a wiggle. That'll go there like that. Right about there. Push that in just a smidge. Oh yeah. That's super. And this right here. And that's done. Clamped up. I think I'm going to put one more clamp in the center. I think I'm going to do it right after that. All right. Got lucky that this molding works as a clamping tool. Just flipped upside down. That's some kind of luck. I think that's probably in the end what drove me to thinking, I'll just glue the thing on and have that be that. All right, little tap. Oh yeah. There it is. All right, so that's clamped. All good. All good. All the clamps are in the right places. Pretty much. All good. Not a lot of ooze. A little bit. That's good. All right. Now, as long as I don't need these clamps, and I don't, I'll just spin the thing on end and cut some more little blocks and do the same damn thing again. Just work my way around. If you can't be good, you can be persistent. And that's where I am right now. So let's see how this goes. All right. So this is what I got to. I got this all glued on, and at the moment, I believe it all went really, really well. The corners look pretty good to me. Get all these clamps off. I kind of screwed myself a little bit. The underside of this, when I put that bevel on, meant that I couldn't just clamp at the edge, which in the end was a good thing, because I could put these scraps of molding on and use those to press evenly down on this. So it actually, I think, I didn't really harm my position, but I didn't know that I was doing it, I guess is the best way of saying that. I was doing something to myself I didn't understand. But it turned out all right, I think. So I'm going to pull these clamps off, and won't need these anymore ever again, which is, I'm not going to cry. They worked out real well. Anyway, so I'll show you what it looks like when I get the clamps all off. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. I've got a little teeny bit of overlap there, not much. Miter looks good. Wow, miters look real good. A little bit there, nothing much. This is all going to dress out real well. I'm going to have to go around and do a little bit of touch-up sanding on the edges. But I can, and it's a flat surface, so that shouldn't set me back at all. It's good. It's good. Now I need to get the other molding. Grab a piece of it. Gonna get this other molding, and I've mentioned a couple of times I want to rabbit it a little bit so that it goes over this and reduces the thickness of this glass rabbit, pushes the painting back just a little bit with the artwork. I've got two long pieces. I'm going to get a short one and a long one out of each of these. Don't know whether I want to rabbit them first or after. Probably rabbit them first so they don't have any end effect. So I guess that's next. Get this out of the way, clear the bench enough so that I can run some long pieces through, and get these rabbited. Let's do that.